That handwriting really looks familiar. And if I didn't know better... What the hell is that? Oh, no. No, it can't be.
What can't be?
Hey, Asa, I thought you were upstairs taking a nap.
You know, I always hated taking naps, even when I was a little tenderfoot. What's that in your hand?
Well, it's something I'd like to figure out. Listen, it's got Tina's handwriting on it. Did she come by the house a little earlier?
I don't know. What is that, a letter?
Yeah, something like that. You think she might have stopped by maybe when you were upstairs taking a nap?
It could have been. I heard some voices down here before I drifted off. Why? Is that letter for me?
No, actually, it's for Bo, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I guess the best way to find out is to go to source, so I'm going to talk to Miss Tina myself, if you'll excuse me.
All the men in my life are preoccupied today.
Poor Joanna. No one to play with.
Make fun. Robert's working on the beastly bookkeeping for his nightclub, and look at you.
Well, what's wrong with the way I look?
You look very dashing, as always.
Oh, dashing. You really think so?
I assume this nervousness is due to the interview this afternoon.
Interview? Oh, yes, of course. As a matter of fact, when you were out picking up your dress, Melinda Kramer popped in, just to advise and brief us about what we might expect at WVLE.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed her.
It was quite all right. She's going to brief you just before the show begins. She's particularly interested in our title, where it came from, who the next rightful heir might be.
Knowing your love of privacy, I'm sure you told her to mind her own business.
On the contrary, I told her you were my only heir to date, but that I had high hopes for the future.
I certainly plan to give you plenty of heirs, Daddy. If I could just get Robert away from his work.
In that regard, I have complete confidence in you, my dear. Look, I'm already late for a very important appointment. I'll meet you back here, and we'll both make our dramatic entrance at WVLE.
Did they say when we could stop printing again?
About the same time we get the new air conditioning installed.
I have to admit, in a way, I like it. Kind of reminds me of the old newspaper days, you know, ceiling fans, cigar smoke.
And the station manager going nuts, huh?
Tom, come on in here. Let me look at you.
Now, since when did old newspapers have station managers?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit confused. But it's understandable when you consider the rumors that are flying around.
Rumors? What rumors?
Rumors that I'm here to put to rest, hopefully. Now, since you two have a financial investment in this station, you can answer this question. Is WVLE for sale?
Tom, where on earth did you hear a rumor like that?
Well, you know how the word gets around newspapers. It's the same way at a television station.
WVLE is not for sale. Not now and never will be.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear that.
But, Tom, you run the station. You know perfectly well we'd never sell it without telling you.
I know you wouldn't. But being station manager of a local station is not easy. Never has been. But it's been a wonderful job for me because of the free hand you two have given me. I don't think a new owner is going to be that trusting, huh?
Well, we've always trusted you because you've always been somebody we could count on. Not just as a friend, but as a journalist, too. A top-notch journalist. That trust will never waver, will it, Clint?
Thank you, Vicky.
Honey?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Vicky, you and I aren't the only owners of WVLE. Asa owns the lion's share of the stock.
Oh, darling, what on earth difference does that make? He would never sell it without discussing it with us.
Asa's done a lot of things lately without any discussion of any kind. I think I better check it out.
No, darling, Asa is perfectly well aware of the importance of WVLE to Buchanan Enterprises and to the Lord Communications.
Asa used to know a lot of things that nowadays seem to have slipped his mind. Now, whether these rumors are his fault or someone else's, I just want to get to the bottom of it now. See you, Tom.
Joanna, please, I deliberately brought the books home so I could work in peace. Or would you rather I go back to Stars and finish up there?
I'd rather you put down your pen and your calculator and kiss me. After all, there are many different kinds of figures, some more interesting than others.
You are very beautiful and very desirable.
Oh, you've noticed. I was beginning to wonder.
But this isn't the right time and the right place.
Robert, it's never the right time or the right place. At night, you come in from your club and you fall fast asleep. During the day, you're either working on your books or you're meeting someone for lunch. Is that any way for two newlyweds to behave?
I didn't know there were any rules.
I'm not talking about rules, darling. I'm talking about passion, romance, lust. You know, some of my girlfriends in Europe don't trust you. They think that you married me only for my father's title or his money or some other reason all of your own.
Yes, well, I hope you told them what they could do with their suspicions.
Of course I did. But I need to know that you love me, Robert, in a way that a husband ought to love a bride.
Joanna, if I could, I would make love to you right here in the living room.
I thought you'd never ask.
No, hold on. It's 1:30 in the afternoon.
And so?
So people could come in and see us, like your father, for instance.
Daddy's gone out and the door's locked. We've got the room all to ourselves. You know what they say about love in the afternoon?
Yes, well, it's not that I'm not tempted.
Oh, then I do tempt you. And you feel the same way I do right now.
Well, not
I
exactly.
can feel your heart pounding a mile a minute. Oh, Robert, I missed you.
I can't believe that I have gotten all dressed up to have tea with our kidnapper. Delilah, shh. It's okay. You couldn't very well say no to Lord Henry, could you? No, of course not. He says he wants to chat again, alone. And I have to say, well, of course, me lord. When I'd rather say, drop dead, me lord. Delilah, that kind of attitude isn't going to help us get out of here, much less help us find out if Beau is all right. Dee Dee, the sight of that man makes my skin crawl. When he looks at me with those big droopy eyes and tells me how I remind him of his late lamented Caroline, it's all I can take just to keep from strangling him. You never know when they put the sound back on. I'm sorry, but I just don't know how much longer I can play this charade. I want to go home to my husband and see my baby. You want to go home? You want to join the club, Delilah? I'm sorry. But first, I'm going to get Beau out of that solitary cell that he's in because it's my fault that he's there to begin with. They don't care whose fault it is. They're going to punish anybody, and Beau was available. So doesn't that tell you how ruthless these people are? For all we know, we have served our purpose, and now... Dee Dee, they are not going to kill us. They are not going to kill us. We are too valuable to them alive. And what if that changes? We don't know who they are. We don't know what they want. What if they're already successful? And then we are expendable. Why are you saying all of this now? Because you've got to understand how important it is that you play along with Lord Henry to the letter. I've dressed the part, no, it's more than that. It's more than that. You're going to have to be charming and sweet and gentle. Everything his sweet little Caroline was. You got to do this, Delilah. You're our only hope.
Good afternoon, Dee Dee. Delilah.
Good afternoon, Lord Henry. Good afternoon. You certainly look handsome today. I think a boutonniere makes the man. Don't you, Dee Dee? Definitely.
I'm so glad you like it. I have something special for you, Delilah.
Oh, Lord Henry, you shouldn't have.
Oh, now, indulge an old man. It's just a little surprise. But one I hope you will enjoy.
Well, if it's coming from you, I'm sure I will. What is it?
Patience. Some things are worth the wait. And the walk,
We're going somewhere?
if you will. We have to pass through a maze of doors and a tunnel to reach your surprise. Shall we?
There's a new kid in town you'll want your kids to meet.
My name's Pippi. Pippi Longstocking.
A freckle-faced Fable who comes to...
Joanna, are you sure?
Shh, don't. Make love to me, Robert. Make love to me now.
The door.
Look, it's locked. I told you, just kiss me. Oh, don't the servants know their place? Go away, Jarvis. Blasted.
I'll get it.
No, I will. And I'll fire him so quickly he'll have to swim all the way back to England. Garth!
Disappointed that I'm not the butler? Well, that's odd. But then maybe again it isn't. Hello, Robert. Nice day for bookkeeping, what?
What was so important that you had to practically knock the door down?
I'm looking for your father. I wanted to remind him that his interview is this afternoon at WVLE.
Well, Daddy's very well aware of the interview. We're planning to go down to the television station together.
Well, that's a relief. But I hate to think that I troubled you for nothing.
Well, you did. And unless the house is burning down, next time, slip a message under the door if you find it locked. Goodbye, Garth. Robert, where are you going?
To the study. Obviously, I can't get my bookkeeping done here.
But, Robert...
A little touch of sunshine and a soft summer breeze. Just the thing to revive the spirit. Don't you agree? Delilah, I wish to spend this lovely afternoon together with you. But I'm not mad, and I'm not a fool. If you're thinking of taking advantage of my attentions to attempt to escape...
Well, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind, Lord Henry. Briefly. I'm no fool either.
Then we can relax and enjoy this charming setting.
Yes, I'm just so grateful to be out of my cell, breathing some fresh air.
I wish you wouldn't think of your lodgings as a cell. I've tried to make them as comfortable as possible. Even fresh flowers every morning. I cut them myself in the garden for you.
Well, I appreciate that. I love flowers.
Really? Flowers are a passion of mine. I knew the more we became acquainted, the more we'd have in common. You must let me show you my roses. Delilah, what is it? Have I said something wrong?
You're such a gentle and a sensitive man, Lord Henry. I just can't believe that you're a kidnapper and that you've held us prisoner for so long now.
There you go again, talking about cells and prisons. You are my special guest today. Try to see it that way.
I'm trying, but I can't relax knowing that Beau is in solitary confinement and knowing how worried Dee Dee is about him.
You are the one that I am most concerned about at this moment. If I had known what a unique soul you are, I would have treated you differently from the very beginning.
That's all very well, Lord Henry, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that being outside like this inspires me to a greater wish. Having my freedom.
All in good time, my dear. You may have your freedom and a great deal more. But all that is entirely in your own hands.
Vicky, if you get a chance this afternoon, tune in to View on Landview.
Why, does Melinda have a special guest?
Very special. Lord Leighton and his daughter. Now, if they can't boost the ratings, I don't know can.
His lordship himself? My goodness, I wouldn't miss that for anything.
Well, I.
Thank you for coming by.
My pleasure. Always good to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your secretary told me to go on in.
Hey, Rafe, I was just leaving. See you, Vicky. Take
Goodbye, Tom.
Take it easy, Tom. Well, I see you're trying to get the place back in shipshape. If you'd rather I come back later.
No, don't be silly. I always have time for you. Besides, I think it's going to be weeks before this ship sails. Sit down, Rafe.
Thank you, Vicky.
I was wondering if you've heard from Dee Dee. I left a message for her in Sydney to call me as soon as her plane touched down, and so far, not a word.
No, hon, I haven't heard from Dee Dee, nor was I expecting to. Are you sure she was on that particular flight? Maybe she changed planes?
My police contact in Sydney tells me that she got the message as soon as she got off the plane.
That's very odd. I mean, it's very strange for her not to return a message from you. But then she's been ignoring a lot of messages this past year, hasn't she?
Tell me about it. I also had a message delivered to her at the airport in San Francisco before she took off for Australia. She didn't return that call either.
Rafe, tell me if this is none of my business, but why are you so anxious to contact her? Didn't you talk to her at the party for Joanna and Rob?
It's because I talked to her, Vicky. I didn't realize it until Dee Dee left town, but she knew about Delilah's disappearance.
Why is that so unusual?
She and Bo were out of the country when it happened.
Well, honey, someone could have written to her and told her.
Who? You yourself said that you and Clint didn't know where to send correspondence. And as for Pete and the girls, all their letters from Europe were returned unopened. So how could she have known what happened to Delilah?
All right, Tina, let's have it.
Gord, what's the matter?
Why don't you tell me? We can start with this.
Looks like a letter for Bo.
It's more than a letter, Tina. There's a diamond ring in that envelope.
A diamond ring. Why would somebody want to send Bo a diamond ring?
Come off it, all right, Tina, because it's your handwriting on that envelope. Now, I'd like to know why you're sending Bo a diamond engagement ring.
Look, I really don't... Fine. Okay, I sent it. I did. I thought it must have belonged to Dee Dee.
Oh.
I figure she gave it back to him, and he maybe put it in his pocket, and it fell out, and I thought he would want it back. So, see, there was a very simple and innocent explanation.
Yeah, well, somehow I don't think it's that simple or innocent, Tina. One thing my dealings with you have taught me is that when it comes to you, things are rarely simple. So why don't we try this from the top one more time, all right? And for your sake and mine, how about if you tell me the truth?
I hate when you don't trust me. No, you get this real disappointed look in your eyes, this doubtful look. I don't think you have any idea how much it means to me for you to trust me.
I'm sorry, Tina, but that's the only way I can be, because every time I put my trust in you, you end up tricking me all over again.
Oh, great, great. Here it comes. Now it's time for the lecture about how immature I am. Never mind that I may have grown over the past year or matured.
I never denied you any of those things, Tina.
You know, there was a time when I could do nothing wrong in your eyes. And when you looked at me, all I saw in your eyes was approval and pride.
Yeah, well, that was when I fell in love with a sassy little girl by the name of Tina Lord. And when I fell real hard.
Yeah, well, I fell equally hard for a cowboy named Cordero Roberts. Sometimes I really wonder why all that had to change.
Oh.
You know, and I don't know why you don't have that same look of pride in your eyes anymore when you see me. No, but I know things have changed. Goodness knows we have. We made a lot of mistakes. I don't know, sometimes when you're this close, I just feel like nothing's changed at all, and it never will.
I was asking you about the ring, Tina.
And I told you.
I know, you told me. But I'm having a real hard time swallowing it. Because I know that something is going on between you and Bo. Unless my eyes were playing tricks on me the day I walked through that door and I saw the two of you kissing.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Tina, it was right here in this very room, all right? Now, I didn't mention it at the time. Maybe because it wasn't my place, but now that there's a ring involved...
Now, wait a minute. It's not my fault that Bo is such a flirt, you know, and it's really not my fault that nobody's paid that much attention to me since you broke off our engagement.
So you had to go out and get yourself engaged to the first man that came along?
I told you I'm not engaged. Don't you see there's only one man that I ever cared about is wanting me, and...
Well, no, I cannot explain how Dee Dee knew about Delilah's disappearance, but then I can't explain a whole lot about Dee Dee's very brief appearance the other night.
She flies halfway around the globe to reconcile with Bo. then throws in the towel after their first fight, and then vanishes again.
Rafe, she seemed to be under tremendous pressure the whole time. She was almost desperate at one point. And then there was that nonsense about the cigarettes.
Cigarettes?
Yeah. Dee Dee's never smoked a day in her life, right?
Are you kidding me? She was practically allergic to cigarette smoke.
So, why did she start to light one up and then decide to quit just as suddenly when I questioned her about it?
She gave it up just like that?
Oh, just like that. Handed me the cigarettes and the matches, asked me to put them away, throw them away. I put them in my purse.
Well, that is pretty strange. Well, she certainly stirred me up.
Because of Delilah?
Oh, yeah. She must have known that I was still hurting, and yet she made a point of wearing one of Delilah's designs to the party. Now, why would she be so thoughtless?
A woman can't respond to a man, even a very handsome man, if she's being treated like his prisoner.
I thought we weren't going to use that word again. Not here, of all places.
A gilded cage is still a cage.
My dear, I too wish your accommodations could be more amenable, but it's only a temporary measure. The future can be very different.
Your Lordship?
Oh, there you are.
What is it, Garth?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir, but I thought I'd remind you about your interview this afternoon at WPLE.
An unnecessary effort on your part. I had not forgotten.
Yes, sir, but I just...
That will be all, Garth. I do apologize, my dear. He's a loyal employee, but a little too earnest at times.
It's quite all right. A moment later, I would have been thinking... Well, I would have been thinking all kinds of thoughts.
Then I must be content with what might have been for now. As you heard, I have to conclude our interlude to go into town. Let me escort you back to your quarters.
If we must go.
Delilah.
Yes, I'm coming, Lord Henry.
Blasted Nigel, I don't need any more pills.
Your son made me promise to follow Dr. Bruner's orders to the letter, sir.
Well, go answer the door. Whatever happened to butlers who took orders instead of giving?
What's this I hear about you giving Nigel a bad time, Paul?
You have got that wrong. Nigel's the one bossing me around.
Oh, I'll bet. You look like your old tyrannical self to me.
I hope you came here to tell me that the Banner's back in business.
No, not quite. But I did want to talk some business to you, if you don't mind. It's about WVLE. Did Bo advise you to sell it?
Why is it every time I see you lately, you're either blaming Bo or me for undermining the business? Hellfire, Clint, I own the company.
I know that, but I'm your son, Pa. I've got some big stakes in what happens to Buchanan Enterprises.
Buchanan Enterprises has never been better or richer, thanks to your brother and me.
Then you shouldn't object to me asking you a simple question. Did Bo put up your share at WVLE for sale, or did he offer it to anyone?
Why do you always think it's Bo's doing? I mean, I can't wheel and deal on my own?
Then you are wanting to sell the station?
I talked about the station recently, yes, but there is no reason for you to get on your high horse and criticize Bo for sabotaging Buchanan Enterprises. Clint, this war between you and your brother has got to stop before it tears his family apart. It is already tearing me apart.
I'm sorry, Pa. I just want to help you hang on to the business that you spent your life building.
There are other things more important than business. The family and people you love. Have you seen Renee lately?
No, not since the party at Stonecrest.
I really miss her, Clint. And every time I see her, I bite her head off. I mean, why, son? What in the Sam Hill gets into me?
I don't know what to tell you. But she must be mighty important to you. You know, they say that a love-hate relationship is sometimes stronger than just a love or hate relationship by itself.
But I don't hate her, that's it. If anything, I mean, she's got reason to hate me. I just wish, Clint, that I could just stop thinking about her.
I wish I had some magic words for you, Pa. I'd tell them to you. You know, all my life I've seen you handle any and all kinds of relationships and always come out on top, no matter what the situation was. And to see you like this... Look, don't you worry about WVLE. Anybody wants to discuss it with you again, you have them call me. All right? I'll take care of everything.
If you only could, son. If you only could.
So remember the moment when the camera pans back and you see the Confederate flag and the soldiers are laying all over by the train station? Yeah?
That's a classic moment in cinema, but Melinda, you really can't expect me to recreate the burning of Atlanta.
Come on. If Selznick can do it, Fred can do it.
You inspire me to greatness or madness. Well, is this fantasy going to be in the usual place?
John's loft, tonight.
Tonight. You want Gone with the Wind, Part 2, in your lover's bedroom, tonight.
You created Cleopatra's barge. Come on, Tara should be a piece of cake. Just go a little easy on the cannons. You know, I don't want to scare John away.
Well, what's he have to be frightened of? He gets to be Rhett Butler. I have to be a miracle worker.
Oh, come on, Fred, relax. I just want you to capture the essence of the old South. You know, no soldiers, no slaves, just a nice fantasy.
I suppose this means we can forgo the birthing of Melanie's baby.
Oh, Fred, all set for your interview?
Yeah, so, Fred, you understand what I'm talking about with Lord Henry said?
Why, you ain't just whistling Dixie. Excuse me.
Thanks. Don't worry, everything is just going to be terrific.
Well, I certainly hope it is. There's been enough publicity. The whole town should know about it. It should drive the ratings up through the roof.
Joanna, I'm sure you look spectacular, darling. But it all goes to waste if we're late for the broadcast.
I won't be long, Daddy.
Perhaps we should be doing some last-minute primping ourselves, Lord Henry.
What's the matter, Garth? You think I'm not properly dressed for the interview?
Well, I was referring to the suit of armor you ought to be wearing, sir, figuratively speaking. Melinda Kramer is not concerned with her guests, but her viewers. A sudden change of pace, a question to confound you, anything to create a controversy and boost the ratings.
I'm fully acquainted with the television business, Garth. I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Well, Miss Kramer may have other ideas.
I will let Ms. Kramer think she's running the interview. But it will be on my terms from start to finish. And at the end, my ratings will be a lot higher than Miss Kramer's.
Well, was I worth the wait?
Oh, I leave that to an impartial observer, Garth.
Nice, Your Ladyship. Very nice.
Coming from a cool fish like Garth, that's high praise indeed. Come along, my darling. The car is waiting.
Oh, Your Ladyship.
Good luck.
Our thanks.
Girl, I'm not sitting in judgment of you here. And I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life either. I'm worried, Tina, because I still care, all right?
Make it sound like it's a curse.
Well, maybe it is some kind of a curse. I think we're both cursed to have certain feelings that just never seem to go away.
I don't know if they ever will.
Look, Tina, I'm just warning you, that's all. I really don't think it's a good move for you to get too deeply involved with a man like Bo.
But he's your uncle. He's family. Why do you feel you have to warn me about him?
I'm telling you, my Uncle Bo is completely different than any other Buchanan.
Different?
Yes.
I can see he's more ambitious than Clint, but other than that...
Tina, he is not the man that you think he is now. Please, just be careful.
I get it.
What do you get? You get that this is all just some jealous thing on my part, and that's what this is all about. That's what you get?
Jealous? Oh, why would I get that? Just because you walk in and see me kissing another man and feel you have to protect my virtue?
Forget it. Forget it, all right? Tina, you know, I warned you. Now, you can either take my advice or you can leave it.
Don't be angry. I'm flattered.
Don't be, Tina. Because I would do this for any other,
Ex-wife?
I've got a meeting I need to get to. It's real important. So I'll see you later, okay?
I understand. Don't let me keep you.
Tina. Kiss the baby for me, will you?
I always do.
I know.